Executive Suite is the third episode of the 7th season of Cheers. This is directed by James Burrows, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And it's a solid episode, but it's not my favourite, and that's largely because I really do not like Teal. I hate his attitude. I find him to be very creepy. So I don't love watching him as a character, but I think he is very well written as a character. The episode actually starts off with Cliff talking about Mickey Mouse and how the real heroes are this person and that person and postal workers, and that he thinks there should be Postal World, basically a theme park revolving around postal delivery, which honestly I think would be pretty delightful. I'd actually go to that. Not sure what the rides would be, but it seems like it would be good fun. After the intro, Woody gets a delivery of 4,000 bees. This is our subplot, and it does make me feel a little bit sick because I am very scared of bees. So I didn't love that, but it does work really well. Rebecca then comes in. She refers to Stone as a psycho, which is very interesting, and I think it helps to show that she's not just going to immediately swoon in front of anybody just because they have money, and we actually see this later on in the episode as well, and I think that that's really important to establish for the character of Rebecca, as it definitely did seem that she loved Drake, or at least she believed she was in love with Drake, but it could have been because of his status and his wealth. But then we see with Stone and then with Teal in a little bit, that's not necessarily always going to be the case. It turns out, though, that Stone has been fired, and the new executive vice president wants to see Rebecca in her office that day. Very briefly, we have Norm helping Sam present this graph of Rebecca's dating history, and also Sam and Rebecca's sexual drive. Yet again, Sam is trying to sleep with Rebecca. We move on from that very quickly as Rebecca goes to this meeting with the exec VP. She's in the lift with somebody, and I think I've seen this before, so I'm not 100% sure if it's obvious or if I was just remembering it, but I think it might have been obvious that the person in the lift was Martin Teal. He's played by Alex Nevil, or Nevil, and he is short and young. And Rebecca makes a couple of, to be fair, inappropriate comments about him looking and seeming like a child. And then, of course, she goes into the office of Martin Teal, and we find out that it is Teal, and immediately he hits on her. He makes some really inappropriate jokes, inappropriate comments, and she gets out of this by saying she's actually dating Sam Malone. And it turns out that actually Teal wants to reinstate her as the sole manager of Cheers. I feel like this is too much too soon, considering Sam has just become co-manager, and I feel like taking it away is a little too soon, but I won't say exactly what happens with this. Rebecca then leaves, and Woody goes to feed his bees, and they are loose in the office. We can hear them buzzing, and it makes me feel so uneasy. I really don't like the sound of the buzzing, but I do find some comedy in the bee story because Carla tells Frasier that one of the bees is loose and it's flown down his shirt, and within about 2 seconds Frasier has taken his shirt off. Very, very well executed. Great performance from Kelsey Grammer there, and I rather enjoyed that quite a lot. Woody is then dressed up as a beekeeper, which was brilliant, and Rebecca is back in the bar, and Sam ends up getting a call from Teal. And because of the way Teal is talking, he realises that Rebecca definitely seems to have said something about her being in a relationship with Sam or dating Sam, and he just has fun with this. He gives the phone to Rebecca, and it's really awkward for Rebecca. She's definitely really uncomfortable with this, and Sam is delighting in this. Woody then leaves with the place fogged because of the bees, and we then cut to the bar in darkness after 2 a.m. because Rebecca points out that the bar closes at 2, and she comes in with Teal, and it's a beautiful, I wish it was more brightly lit, as it absolutely would have been the thumbnail for this, but they all pop up from behind the bar. This is including, obviously, Sam and Carla and Woody, but we also have Norm and Cliff. And to have all of them behind the bar at the same time never happens. Obviously, Norm and Cliff don't usually have a reason for being behind there. And I do wish it was more brightly lit because it would have just made a gorgeous thumbnail. It's a beautiful image. And Norm and Cliff and, well, everybody except Sam leaves, and we have a moment between Sam and Rebecca, and Rebecca goes to her office. Teal then tells Sam, well, he shows Sam, actually, what he's going to do. And Sam responds, you're giving her a doorknob. Obviously, the indication there is that the ring inside the box is huge. And Teal makes a point of making it very well known that he always gets what he wants. And I don't like him. He's just so slimy. Different to Nick Tortelli slimy, but definitely still very slimy. He's a really awkward, uncomfortable character, but very, very well written with a really solid performance. Teal goes into Rebecca's office. All we hear is Rebecca screaming, and then a kind of thud, as if somebody has fainted, perhaps. And then across the screen we have to be continued. And I do remember pretty well what happens in the next episode. I don't remember it scene for scene, but I'm looking forward to watching that one again. And honestly, I don't like him. I really don't like Teal as a character. I just find him so uncomfortable to watch. But it is a solid episode. I think it's fair to say that Executive Suite isn't my favourite episode, but there are still some really great moments. Personal highlights would be the concept of postal world. If somebody would ever create a mock-up of what that looks like, I'd be very happy to see it. And definitely everybody behind the bar. It was really beautiful. And Frasier taking off his shirt very, very quickly. Also the appearance of Woody in the beekeeper outfit, or whatever outfit it was, fumigating. I'm not entirely sure. But it looked brilliant, nevertheless. Also Sam on the phone to Teal and how he played that in Rebecca's facial expressions, because Kirstie Alley just has the most wonderful facial expressions. Some really solid moments, some really great moments in this episode. Not an all-time favourite, but Executive Suite is still pretty great.